What's up, board fam? Eric here, and today we are going to follow up on the OtterlyNoah situation. I think it's really important as content creators in the debunking space with what we're doing that we keep it a buck and we keep an eye on people that may not be above board in our space doing things. I made a video about all of this about a week ago. I thought Noah was going to take some time off, but it's not really been that long. And then he did a post about this. We're going to look at that later in this video. And then he did this apology video. Everybody's been asking me if I'm going to talk about it. So I thought I'd go ahead and kick the week off with this video and get the ball rolling on it. I really do think it's important to keep an eye on this kind of stuff because I take this very seriously. I think a lot of people in the space that I associate with take it very seriously. I streamed with Noah one time on the showcast. I had no direct personal conversations with Noah. We were supposed to do something as a group with like Ant, some other people, Birdman. We were going to do something a while ago, but because of him, it never happened. Thank goodness it didn't, because then it would be even bigger drama around this. Credibility would be questioned even more. And rightfully so. I think it's fair to question motivations of people who are associated with other people in a big way. I think it's fair to do that. But Noah here is taking accountability for what happened. And I have to tell you guys, spoiler alert, I'm not too happy with some of the stuff that pops up in this apology video. And again, there's another statement we're going to look at later on. But let's go ahead and get into this video. I don't know how much I'm going to pause this one. I want to give him a chance to say everything he has to say, but we're going to stop it wherever I think is relevant. You guys know how I do here. I don't fuck around. So let's go.
Hey everyone, if you're watching this video and you're a regular viewer of the channel, you're probably aware of all the problems I caused during the month of April.
Yes.
A video by the user named Calesto came out in April called Anti-Woke Criticism is Fine, Debunking OtterlyNoah. This video went over many of my videos from last year and also discussed my plagiarism controversy from the start of this year. I was incredibly petty seeing this video when it came to my attention, and because of that, I made the wrong choice of having my artist, Deus Marionette, who has created the PNGs that I use for my avatar in my videos, create a claim on the video by claiming her art being used in the thumbnail.
I'm going to pause it there for a second. This is the first big red flag for me. And it's not just the false strike. That's already bad enough. And I talked about this quite extensively on my first video. I need you guys to understand. He knowingly told his friend to do this and then continued to throw that friend under the bus, all while knowing that he was the mastermind behind it. Understand the situation, please, as we go through this video. Noah did all of this premeditated and then lied about it to multiple people trying to cover his ass, all while pretending, oh, I have no idea. I don't know. But don't bother her. Don't bother her. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was this. Maybe it was that. It's despicable. This is somebody that he calls a friend. Keep in mind, this is a good friend of Noah. So imagine how expendable association with Noah would be. If you're an associate of his, if you're just somebody that he knows, good luck. Good luck if you've done anything with him in the past or you've talked with him in the past. If he's willing to throw a good friend under the bus like this over something this big, because this is a big deal. Good luck. It's the Hunger Games.
This was a wrong thing to do for multiple reasons. Not only did I have an artist and friend of mine of 3 years put a claim on a video that I just simply didn't like because it was a criticism of me, I was actively disingenuous to her and did not give her the full story on what the video was actually about, and also stated that the video was racist to her. On top of this, even outside of all of that...
So the levels of like shit there, to me, are it's wild. Like, you lied to other people about all this. You lied to your friend, not only about why you were doing it and the severity of it, but then you also knew that your friend didn't know anything about any of this.
Deus's art being used in the thumbnail by Callisto is absolutely fair use, so this was
Correct.
something that couldn't be claimed regardless. On
Correct.
YouTube, especially if you're someone...
By the way, I want to point out, false claiming, you have to, like, if you false claim, or you claim anything, we'll say false. If you're claiming anything on YouTube, it is a legal thing. It's legal, meaning that his friend who filed a false copyright strike, a false claim, it's highly illegal. I've got the information right in front of me. Under 17 USC 512F, a person who knowingly materially represents that material is infringing can be liable for damage caused by that false claim. Meaning that whatever harm occurred, material damages occurred because of that, whether it be money, channel takedown, video takedown, whatever, if you knowingly did it, you are responsible for that. Now, if it's a false claim by mistake, that's not always immediately illegal. However, Noah is admitting here that he told this person to do it knowing that it was false, knowing that it was bogus. So you put your friend at risk by doing this legally. That's next level. I'm sorry.
Declaring yourself as a critic, you have to be able to take criticism yourself. I was not able to do that here, and on top of this, I had my artist claim a video that was a rightful criticism
Despicable
of me and
shit.
also fell under fair use. It was egomaniacal and selfish of me for many reasons.
More than
My
that.
actions here have hurt
More than that, you talked your friend into committing a crime.
a lot of people, and that's something that can't be changed. But I want to try to make things right any way I can. I want to apologize specifically to Deus Marionette, the artist I approached to put a claim on Callisto's video. Deus has been a longtime friend and supporter of what I do here, and it was incredibly wrong for me to put her up to putting a claim on a video that I just simply didn't like.
It was also extremely illegal. And by the way, you also said you want to make it right. Apologizing and taking accountability is the first step. It's literally the first step. And I can assure you, based on what I've seen in this video as I skip through it, it doesn't seem like there's any real plans to take action on any of that. Like making it right outside of that. It doesn't seem like it, based on, we'll get there.
I want to apologize to Callisto for putting a claim on his video to begin with, which was a rightful criticism of me and how I handle the Hunting Grizzly Bears videos. I want to apologize to KinoFlex, who I lied to during the events of this, and I try to act like I didn't know anything at all about Deus striking down Callisto's video. I want to apologize to Jan as well for doing this exact same thing to him. I want to apologize to the Birdman for not being truthful with him when he originally approached me about this situation and asked for more details on how Callisto's video got a claim on it. I want to apologize to Wargaming Dad for lying to his face when he came to me asking about information on this situation. As you can see here, I made the claim in this DM to Wargaming Dad that Deus didn't understand fair use, which is false, of course, and this was just deflection from me. I was the one.
This looks so bad for like the entire debunking community. And I know this because a lot of people are hurt by what Noah did. A lot of his viewers were hurt. You go over and you read the Reddit posts, you read people's comments. A lot of people are really upset about this. And what happens is now they feel like they've been burned by somebody who they thought was doing something good. And it's going to make them less likely to feel like they can trust people moving forward. So you have actually violated people's trust levels in a way that might be irreparable in some cases. I just need you guys to understand how heavy all of this is, the weight on all of this. Because like I said, I take this very seriously. I'm going to talk more about that in a bit. But because of that, because of how serious this is for me, because I am part of a community that gets pretty much blasted by these guys at least once a week. The gay community gets thrown under the bus, attacked, trampled on by these guys constantly. So it's not just doing it for fun or doing it for the clicks or whatever. It's doing it because it is the right thing to do. It's important to call this stuff out. And what Noah has done is he has raised a level of distrust in content creators that are doing this by being so deceptive and lying so much. And again, accountability is literally the first step. So this isn't one of those times where could he be better down the road? Maybe. But spoiler alert, I don't think I've seen anybody on YouTube who has done this level of fuckery come back from it. There's no one. There's people that I know today that got in trouble for dumb shit like this that still haven't recovered. The Quartering, one of the largest accounts in the grifting space, in the media grifting space, did this, and they are not forgiving him. The people within his own space are not forgiving him. This is a big fucking deal. And it speaks to a larger issue than just a false strike. That's bad enough. But there's a level of deception in all of this that raises red flags all over the place for me.
Who put her up to claiming the video to begin with, and in fact, after this entire situation, it should be obvious that I was the one who did not understand fair use whatsoever. I want to apologize to Simon Robinow for recording him in a Discord call with Deus without his permission or knowledge, since I live in a one-party consent state and thought...
Right. So, again, more stuff. You recorded somebody without them knowing. For what reason? Why? Why did you do it? So I guess anybody that ever talked with Noah privately, you can assume that there's a possibility that you were recorded. Because the only reason he's coming clean about any of this is because he got caught. That's the only reason why. So just assume if you were ever talking privately with him, he could have been recording you. Assume if you've ever DM'd with him or told him anything personal or whatever, that it's a possibility that stuff could be kept or saved for some mysterious reason.
It would be okay, but it was a massive violation of his trust and Deus's trust. I want to apologize to Q and Jasmine for causing her to feel like she wasted her time making art for me, since she'd made the thumbnail I was going to use on my Rev Says Desu Pro ZD video right before all of this happened.
Okay, so that's really important. He had made another video similar to the normal videos he was making before about calling out the grifting and the bad faith shit and all the stuff that we typically talk about over here. He had made another video that was ready to come out before he got caught with this fake claim stuff. It's really important with something that he says later on and a comment that he made that we're going to look at later on.
I also want to offer an apology to Anthony Garuglia and causing him to feel like the advice he gave me during the plagiarism drama was completely wasted on me and causing him to feel betrayed in general. I also want to offer an additional apology to both him and critically...
Causing him to feel betrayed? To feel betrayed? No, I would say pretty soundly that anyone that has helped you in any capacity at this point isn't just feeling betrayed. They were absolutely betrayed. Because there's zero reason to trust you anymore about any of this stuff. And I need you guys to understand, I'm going to run this back for a second. I need you to understand, it doesn't make me happy that so many people in the community loved because they thought he was doing such a great job of making content. It doesn't make me happy to have to do this. But this has harmed what I do here on YouTube. This is somebody that we were welcoming in to the community. That we were going to build something around. Like as a group, we had multiple people we were going to build something around. He was one of them. He was like this fucking close to being in with like myself and many other people who were planning on doing something. And then the plagiarism stuff happened. And that stopped that. And now lying, recording people without permission, throwing your friend under the bus, getting your friend to do something illegal, copyright striking, and then pretending you didn't know that it wasn't fair use, even though you've been doing it yourself for a year? So you're telling me that all those things that you were doing, you didn't know if it was fair use or not? I didn't know if putting my image in a thumbnail was fair use, but I've been doing it to everybody else. It's really rough, man.
Him to feel like the advice he gave me during the plagiarism drama was completely wasted on me and causing him to feel betrayed in general. I also want to offer an additional apology to both him and Critically Sober for not listening to their advice on not hopping onto drama streams. I also want to apologize specifically to my YouTube community for making a bunch of community posts when this originally all occurred, starting on the 19th going up to the 20th. I originally made a bunch of YouTube community posts trying to describe the situation as it had happened, but admittedly I was very stressed while making those, and none of them came off well whatsoever as a result. So I made a bunch of YouTube community posts all at once trying to describe the situation while stressed, which obviously was not a good idea whatsoever, and then ended up just deleting them all, which honestly came off as even worse because it came off like I was trying to hide things, which was not the intent whatsoever.
Friendly reminder to my community, I know there are a lot of people critiquing me currently, and while there are some bits of misinformation flying around out there amongst legitimate claims, do not harass anyone discussing me. Feels like we should go without saying, but make it clear we are better than that. I still made a mistake regardless of anything, and a big one at that. I should not have gone to Deuce about Calesto's video, and I messed up grandly as well for flip-flopping afterwards between Wargaming Dad, Kino, and Deuce, as I didn't properly take accountability at all for how I'd given that to Deuce to begin with. It was hypocritical and disingenuous. For now, I'll be taking some time off YouTube 3 days ago. Okay. I want to self-reflect and think about how I want to go about content going forward. I've currently secured a position in the film industry, so I'll be focusing on that for the next month. If I ever come back to YouTube, I'll likely be sticking strictly to autism and movie-related content. I apologize for everything that's happened and to everyone that's been hurt. I have some thoughts on that, but let's continue.
That's also a big reason I'm doing this video, because I want full clarity out there on what happened with this situation and what I'm gonna do to make things right. A lot of people are hurt over this, and I cannot state that enough. A lot of people probably won't talk to me ever again after this, and rightfully so. I did a lot of things wrong here, and there's really no taking back what I did whatsoever. The only thing I can do is try to learn from this and grow, like I always do in general. Since
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it works like that on YouTube and social media. Like, you did two almost irredeemable things back to back. And I'm not saying that because it's like just specifically you. I'm saying most content creators and most people in communities do not appreciate plagiarism, and they do not appreciate false strikes, because you can't just brush that off. Like, the plagiarism was already a big problem to begin with. The false strike is like, come on. And then you admit to recording people without their knowledge? For what reason?
this situation has also caused the plagiarism drama from the start of this year to be relitigated, I also want to directly apologize to Shamu, Vincent Poverel, and Neryl for plagiarizing their videos. Specifically, I want to apologize for taking Shamu's video on Tectone and taking entire segments out of that and copy and pasting them into my video called Anti-Woke Religious Gamers Are Unintentionally Hilarious. Taking entire parts of Vincent Poverel's script on his video about Jester Bell's terrible takes on 2025 movies and putting that in my own video on that. And also taking an entire chunk out of Neryl's script on his video talking about aliens and True Lies on 4K and putting that in my video about AI and Disney. I think this entire situation, and also the plagiarism controversy from the start of this year, has really had me reflecting on what exactly I want to be doing here on YouTube.
Oh, right. So you had intended to keep making the content you were making because you already had a video in the can with a thumbnail, I guess, being made, art being made for it. And all of a sudden, because you got caught doing, again, almost irreparable damage to not only your credibility, but the credibility of other people that do this stuff. Now you're like, should I be making the kind of content that I'm making now that I got caught doing this stuff? Should I be doing that? Because you weren't reflecting before. You knew exactly what you were doing before. You knew the kind of content you were making, and you were okay with it. So it does beg the question, why pivot now? Why would you pivot after you got caught doing something that you know is damaging to the content you were making? You call people out for being media grifters. You call them out for being con artists and scammers and all of these things, bad people behind the scenes. And then you look at what you did and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be making this content. Maybe I shouldn't be saying these things about people when I'm also doing this stuff behind the scenes too. And then by whatever association it might be, whether it's just showing up on a stream with you or having any connection to you at all, drag other people down in the process who had faith in you when you were making this content, who believed in you when you were making this content, who were willing to stand up for you when you were making this content, including people that had dragged you essentially, like KinoFlex, who apparently was also taking up for you when this was happening, Birdman, people that probably wouldn't have done that if they knew that you didn't even have faith in the content you were making, apparently. Let's continue.
When I started doing the Hunting Grizzly Bears videos, that being the first one about anti-woke film criticism, I was doing them in a hope to try to get film criticism and just criticism in general on YouTube back to what it used to be.
Oh,
I was
okay.
hoping to highlight bad faith criticism on YouTube and be able to point people in a better direction for criticism on YouTube in general of popular media, but that really didn't happen at all with that series, and I don't think I accomplished anything with it whatsoever that I was hoping to. Instead, what that series became was just simply a way for me to try to feel like I could get an own on someone else, instead of actually highlighting real criticism.
And you didn't think about any of this until you got caught plagiarizing and striking people? You magically, the skies opened up and you got this epiphany that my content, maybe what I was doing, wasn't really speaking to the movement that I was trying to be a part of. But you sure did love all of the attention that came from it. All the subscribers, all of the views, all of the hyping. You sure did appreciate that when it was happening.
Ultimately became a way for me to boost my own ego instead of actually highlighting good faith criticism.
Right.
I would say originally this series started off the way I intended, but over time it just gradually deteriorated into something toxic and not really productive whatsoever.
But you were still making them. You could have, this switch could have happened at any point in time. Like, you just admitted earlier in this video, you had another video that was about to come out until you got caught lying. And all of a sudden, man, it's what I'm doing is so toxic. Wow. It's like, there's no way for you to continue making that content. There's no way. It's impossible for you to go back to doing it. So of course, now all of a sudden you're like, I don't know if it was the right thing for me to do. It's such an obvious pivot.
And ultimately, this series, and especially the way I chose to handle it, has done nothing to better media discourse on YouTube and has only hurt people that I care about and are close to me, and also...
Not because, so this is the problem here. It's not because of the content, it's because of you. What you're doing did have a positive effect. Your community loved you for what you were doing. Your community, which overlapped with like my community and other people's communities in this space, all enjoyed the fact that you were really good, I guess, except for the plagiarism. You're really good at debunking and calling out a lot of this stuff. It was you that was the problem. You were plagiarizing. You were lying. You were false striking. The content wasn't the problem.
Has caused me and other people to go through a lot of drama. Neither of those things are things I want for myself or others that I care about. So it's really time for me to make a huge change to what I do here on YouTube. When I first started here on YouTube, I was doing autism-related videos talking about both good and bad representation of autism in popular media. And I was also just talking about popular media like films, games, TV shows, and plenty more in general. I think doing the Hunting Grizzly Bears videos really caused me to lose sight of why I started doing things on YouTube to begin with. So going forward, any video I make here on the platform is not going to be a Hunting Grizzly Bears video. I am only going to be highlighting autism representation in popular media and also just talking about things I love, like.
Okay, so two things there. One, good, because if you're going to be like striking people and recording people without their consent, throwing people under the bus, plagiarizing people, genuinely bringing that energy into the debunking community, then this is good. I'm fine with that. Move on and do something else. However, I don't think anyone should just take lightly your behavior, even with the apologies, because the apologies need to be followed up with action, which means unless you're still engaging in what you're doing, no one out there is going to know, hey, is Noah doing this thing behind the scenes that he wasn't doing, that he says he's not doing anymore? Like, do we know that? Because again, these are 2 times he was caught doing something. I hope that whatever it is you choose to do, you actually give a fuck about it and you're passionate about it, because we don't need halfway allies in this space. We don't, like, you have to be 100% if you're going to do this, because what happens is you come in, you do stuff like this, and it makes everyone else look bad. It's not just you. It's everybody else. Let's continue.
Films, games, TV shows, and things like that. That's really what this should have been all along, and I deeply apologize to my audience and everyone else that I have hurt with this series. I do now have a job working.
Everyone else you've hurt with the series, a lot of your audience came from that. Let's be clear. A lot of your momentum came from those videos. They came to you because they believed in what you were making. They trusted you. Your audience trusted you. And you have, for a lot of them, damaged that trust beyond repair. You have made it almost impossible for a lot of people to look at you and trust you again. So to go, I apologize for making that content. Like, those people were coming to you for that content.
Working in the film industry, something I have dreamed of for quite a long time now. It would have been very easy for me to simply leave YouTube, never take accountability, and leave my YouTube audience hanging and betraying.
Oh, so we should be thanking you. We should be thanking you for taking accountability. You could have just ghosted everybody. Thank you, Noah, for coming on and telling us about, or confirming all of the awful things that you were accused of were true. Thank you for that, because your apologies aren't really going to do. Look, I appreciate the accountability. Accountability is wonderful, but the apologies are not going to do anything. Matter of fact, now that you are pivoting away from this content, you can just wipe your hands of it. You can just wipe your hands of it. You came in, you took a shit all over the house that we live in, and then you're like, oh, I actually don't like this house. I'm going to go to another house across the street. Sorry about the shit. Sorry, I'm just going to walk away. You doing what you did is essentially ghosting this community. You're like, I'm not going to make this kind of content anymore because it's no longer beneficial to my channel. It's no longer useful for my channel. So I'm going to pivot to something else, and I'm going to say I'm sorry and literally do nothing to repair the damage that I did. There's no action here. It's just apologies. There's, like, you're not saying I need to do better. I need to try and fix this. Maybe I should walk away from YouTube altogether and really just reflect on all of this. No, you're like, I'm just going to pivot content. Your break lasted 3 days. You were still interacting on social media when you said you were taking a break. That's not enough time to reflect on something at this level.
Them, but I didn't want to do that since I actually do want to learn and grow from this experience and take accountability for exactly the things I did.
How are you going to learn and grow if you're not even going to make the content anymore? Please explain to me how what you did in this community and what you were accused of is going to help you grow in any way if you're like, I'm just not going to make that content anymore. By the way, I want to put this out there. I'm not saying he has to. I'm not saying he has to keep making this content. Like I said a moment ago, I'm good with you stepping away. But all of this comes off very hollow. It rings very hollow when you're like, I want to learn and grow, but I also want to just make different stuff. Like, it's conflicting ideas. I'm sorry, it's conflicting ideas in my opinion.
I wanted to do the right thing, and I hope I can continue to do the right thing going forward here. My new job does have me pretty busy these days, but I want to keep trying to educate people on autism and what good representation of autism really looks like in popular media. So I am going to keep putting videos on this channel, and I really hope they're a lot better than the videos I was making over the last several months. Also, to show I am serious about wanting to change my content and how I approach it, I am considering a full rebrand of my channel to really show that I want to make better content and...
Oh, so a rebrand. So let me tell you what a rebrand entails, because I've seen this before. We'll see if this is what he does. I'm going to say this is what I speculate a rebrand would mean on YouTube. Wiping your channel of any videos, rebranding your name, rebranding your image, changing everything about your channel. So in a couple of years' time, you think the internet just forgets that you're the guy who was recording people without consent. You're the guy that was plagiarizing. You were the guy out there who was literally going in and striking channels, at least one channel confirmed. You went in and struck a channel and threw your friend under the bus. That's what a rebrand means. You want to pivot because you don't want to be associated with the bad image that you had before. It's transparent. Like, this is so obvious to me. We've seen this happen with people on the grift side. They try something new, they shift, they move. I know other people in the space here who have tried rebranding. It doesn't work. It actually looks even worse when you're like, I'm just going to change everything and try and cover up the stuff that I did on YouTube. That's typically what a rebrand is. I could be wrong here, but I have a sinking feeling that it's going to seem like running through sludge if you don't. And so you're going to do that, and then it's like, oh, I'm a different person now. I just completely rebrand, new channel, new colors, new identity. I'm a different person.
Or meaningful content going forward here. I also do want to state that me rebranding is not me trying to hide from anything I've done in the past. Every single video that I've made that highlights a mistake that I've made is still going to stay up on my channel. I did this exact same thing.
We'll see, because I can promise you, trying to come back from this, even leaving these videos up, I don't think the vast majority of people are just going to like be okay with it. I just don't.
When the plagiarism controversy happened at the start of this year, I could have very easily deleted the stream that it all occurred in, but I chose not to because I'd rather keep that up, have that stream there as a reminder of my mistake, and be able to learn and grow from my mistake and be better in the future.
I mean, it's also because tons of people had already have it uploaded on their channels too, so it doesn't really do much good for you to delete it, but okay.
It is going to take a lot of time before people can truly heal from everything I have done, but I want to do whatever I can to try to help mend the mistakes that I caused. I would rather not look at this as the end of something, but rather a new beginning and a chance for me to change and grow and be able to be better for both myself and my audience. I have spoken to some of the people I hurt privately, and some have forgiven me, some still need time to forgive me, and some aren't gonna forgive me whatsoever, which I completely understand. I can only hope that I can take this as a learning experience and do better in the future. The next video I do...
I want to put this out there. Anybody that he's talking about that might be stumbling on this video, or anyone that I might know that he's talking about behind the scenes or whatever, just be very careful. Be very careful. I've known people like this in my life that do this kind of stuff, and it's not something that people typically grow out of or learn from. They just get better at covering it up. All right, so this was sent to me. I do want to talk about this and give my final thoughts on all of this because it's already a longer video. OtterlyNoah posted, I definitely feel a huge weight off my shoulders now that I won't be contributing to the culture war with my content going forward. Contributing to the culture war. So Noah didn't perceive himself as someone fighting against this fake culture war. He saw himself as part of the culture war. That's an interesting perspective. I think one thing I've realized now regarding the culture war is that it doesn't really seem to truly fix any problems completely. Well, I mean, let's be clear here. What you consider to be the culture war, like fighting back against harassment, bullying, all those things, it's not going to fix everything completely. I was never under any false pretenses that what I do or what anybody does in the space is going to fix everything. And fix it completely wasn't even, in my mind, a concept. It's little bits of chipping away at this to break down YouTube's algorithm and to drive less people into that outrage hate content. We know it's working. We see it's working. I've talked about it. I've shown evidence of it. We've even had the content creators like Quartering, Melanie Mack, several other, there's other people I've covered in the past who are like on the smaller end who are also doing outrage content are seeing diminishing returns. Yellow Flash isn't seeing the numbers he used to see during his live streams. So you saying can fix any problems completely. I don't know why you would assume that was ever the goal, but okay. Sure, there's benefits to pointing out problems and explaining them, but I feel like that ends up not really always being what happens with the culture war itself as much as it actually creates more division and strife. So it's both sidesing shit now. So now it's both sidesing shit. So Noah here is basically saying that fighting back against the bullying is just causing more division and strife. This is dumb. I'm sorry, this is a dumb statement. We know for a fact that that's not the case. There's lots of incredible people in my community, and I love all you guys in the comment section who have told me how beneficial it is for my kind of content to exist, for other people's content like this to exist. Shout out to people like Birdman, Ant, the Showcast guys, everyone in the space doing this, how much it means to them that this kind of content exists. So it doesn't cause more division. What it does is it allows people to see what this stuff does, how harmful it is, and then they have to make a personal decision on whether or not they want to continue to be part of it or if they want to move on. That's what we see. The both sidesing division shit is a cop-out. It's a cop-out statement. That's the last thing people need right now. I'd rather go back to what I was good at when I started YouTube and advocate for autistic people like myself while discussing pop culture. I hope that works out for you. I'm not saying that sarcastically. I mean, if that's really what you want to go back and do, then go back to it. I just don't see it working out for you based on the person you've shown yourself to be on social media. And I hate that for you, not because I really give a fuck about like whatever you choose to do. Like, I don't really care one way or the other, but you have done so much damage to my community, a community that I love, people that I love, other creators that I love. You have done so much damage to it. And as you said in your video, it was very selfish. It was extremely selfish. And now you're like, you know what? I'm not going to try and fix any of that by doing anything meaningful. I'm going to say I'm sorry and then just go back to what I was doing before. Because nothing says learning and growing and true accountability like walking away from the problem that you caused without trying to do anything to fix it. That's great. I mean, sounds to me like you just care more about your channel and your channel's health than you do the health of the community that you fucked over. But that's just me. It's a much healthier thing to do. Yes, for you. For you. More productive too. For you. Not for me or anybody else who now is associated with you in any way at all, whether it just be showing up on one stream or someone like Ant who took time helping you out. Like, is it healthier for any of us or is it healthier for you? This is what I'm saying. Don't get into this stuff unless you are here for the real shit. Don't be a halfway or a halftime friend, a halftime ally. I don't need halfway. We don't need halfway. We need people that really want to do this, that care about this. And here's my final thoughts on this. As a gay person who is always targeted by these guys, as someone that is always on the receiving end of their shit, I want people on my team in this community who are here to be true allies to everyone who is marginalized, whether it be somebody with autism, whether it be a person of color, whether it be a woman, whether it be someone under the queer umbrella, whatever that is. I want real people who are not doing shady shit behind the scenes associated with this community. I wish Noah the best. Whatever it is you plan on doing, please don't come back. Please stay wherever you are, whatever you choose to do. Stay over there. Don't get back in this stuff. Like, again, this means a lot to me. I started a second channel just to get involved in this because I believed in it. We don't need people who are dipping their toes in the water. We just don't. I'm sorry. You have done so much damage to this community. It makes me so annoyed and so angry.